From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Even though it looks like Hurricane Erin is not forecast to bring much rain to the East Coast, the North Carolina Outer Banks and a few other beaches along the Atlantic coast of the U.S. will bear the brunt of Erin as the major hurricane grows in size and its winds and waves extend well beyond the eye of the storm. The magnitude of the storm surge, the waves, and the winds on the Outer Banks and southeastern Virginia will depend on how close to the coast Hurricane Erin tracks. Erin's eye is forecast to pass at least 150 miles offshore, and because of the distance, little to no rain from Erin is forecast in eastern North Carolina. But still, impacts along the coast could be significant. AccuWeather lead hurricane expert Alex De Silva said that people on the coast should not just focus on the eye track of a hurricane, especially one that is as large and strong as Erin. Now, due to Erin's already large and growing zone of winds and waves, significant problems associated with a relentless storm surge, flooding, and overwash from waves on top of the surge will lead to coastal flooding and erosion on the Outer Banks. The AccuWeather Real Impact Scale for hurricanes in the U.S. is less than 1, which will be equivalent to a strong tropical storm in terms of storm surge. Officials have declared a state of emergency for North Carolina's Dare County, and mandatory evacuation orders have been issued for Hatteras Island in North Carolina. Erin's hurricane and tropical storm force wind zone continues to expand. On Sunday morning, hurricane force winds extended out 25 miles, and tropical storm winds reached 200 miles from the center. On Monday morning, hurricane force winds had expanded out to 80 miles, and tropical storm winds were reaching 230 miles from the center. Wind gusts are forecast to get strong enough on the Outer Banks to possibly lead to sporadic power outages. The expansion of the wind field is due to a common phenomenon known as an eye wall replacement cycle. Now, De Silva said, the strongest hurricanes experience this at least once in their lifetime, and some have it occur multiple times. Erin experienced one such cycle over the weekend, with another taking place on Monday. The cycle initially knocks down the overall strength of the wind at the core, but then the hurricane gets a reboot and can regain wind intensity. The problem is, during each eye wall replacement cycle, the hurricane's wind field expands in size. Erin is acting like a giant plunger over the ocean just northeast of the Bahamas. Waves produced by powerful winds in the storm continue to propagate outward. Some uptick in wave action was already occurring along the southern Atlantic coast of the U.S. on Monday. Swells will continue to expand northward into the mid-Atlantic and New England. Waves in the building surf zone will lead to an increase in the strength and number of rip currents. The dangerous conditions may cause many beaches to close. Close to 50 water rescues were performed at Wrightsville Beach in North Carolina on Monday. As the week progresses, wave heights will build and more ocean water will be pushed shoreward that has time to escape to the sea, even with Erin's core staying a couple of hundred miles offshore. This will lead to the storm surge. The North Carolina Outer Banks will experience a storm surge of several feet with wave action on top of that, likely between 10 and 15 feet, but locally higher to near 20 feet depending on Erin's eye proximity to the coast. The worst conditions are likely from late today through Thursday. With these expected conditions, portions of North Carolina Highway 12 will experience significant overwash flooding and could be damaged. More homes on the barrier islands may be washed into the sea. Later in the week, as Erin accelerates and moves northeastward away from North Carolina, conditions will improve. However, it is possible that parts of the Outer Banks may be cut off depending on damage to the sandy soil and road surface of Highway 12. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.